But what are really new instruments? The saxophone? No, that's been around 100 years or so, even before jazz was invented. The mellophone you hear in school bands, that's just another kind of French horn. No, the really new instruments are electrical ones, or rather, electronic ones. I'm sure there are lots of you who understand what that word electronic means. There have been hundreds of experiments going on in our time trying to invent an electronic instrument that will make a sound unlike anything ever heard before. And since composers are always wanting to make new sounds never heard before, some of them have tried doing it with these new inventions. For instance, there's one such invention called the theremin, which is used a lot in movie music, especially when they want a spooky effect or somebody's losing his mind. I'm sure you've all heard it, sort of ghostly, trembling sound. And that sound is made electronically without even touching the instrument with your hand. Then there's one called the ondes marteneau. There are various ones, but the most important thing that's being done for new sounds these days is, of all things, the tape recorder. Now imagine an instrument called a tape recorder. But it is an instrument, only it doesn't need to be played with a bow or a stick or by blowing into it or hitting it. All you do is push a button and it's on its own. It's amazing how many millions of sounds you can put on tape. A whole new world of sounds, anything you want. Now there are two ways of putting sound on tape. One is by recording real sounds, like for instance a bottle breaking, crash, tinkle, tinkle, tinkle. And then, was that it? Ah, here's the tinkle. And then you take that sound and play it backwards so that you hear the tinkles before the crash. It's a weird new sound. Listen. That's an artificial sound that can exist only on tape. Or you can take that same sound and play it faster or slower or higher or lower, again making a new sound. Now that's that same bottle breaking, only much lower and slower. Now you can do these things with any other sound, talking or singing or stamping or coughing or anything you want. Then the other way is to make artificial sound. In other words, you don't record a real sound and then change it. You actually record pure tone that is made by a thingamajig called an oscillator. Now this is all a very hard scientific business, and I don't know too much about it myself, but I have heard a lot of these sounds, and they're quite new and exciting. Just listen to a couple of them. That's pure sound.